It's an intro video here. Hello. We didn't do this in such a long time that I don't even know how to do it anymore, no? Practice makes it better, and not practice you forget, especially when you're all like me. Hello, lovely ladies. How are you today?
I'm
Really
good.
good.
Yes. Looking
I
forward
was
to
like,
this discussion.
yeah, who to speak first? Feel free to jump in whenever you want. And yeah, to the audience, welcome back to an episode of The Ledger. We do start the season 2 later than planned, but we had a busy summer here at Interledger. As much as we want to say like summer it's easy, and summer in the north hemisphere, because we do have people and community, colleagues and community from the southern hemisphere where it's autumn round coming towards winter time. Hi to everyone, more than happy to have you back. The big change is that we ditch our CTO. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, my host colleague Alex Lakatosh is sick today. We are sending him good wishes to get well soon. We would have canceled it or postponed it, but even a lot of time, yes, sending the hearts. We know that this is a heart sign. If we would have postponed it even more, would have been too much time passed since our marathon of events in Mexico in September. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we have busy times ahead too, as we are approaching our summit and hackathon. Just a brief intro about of the Ledger. It's our informal series from the tech team at Interledger Foundation, in which we most of the times tackle one subject from our projects. It could be till now like open payments, web monetization. We have a full series that you can see it now on YouTube. Maybe we will upload it on other podcasts, vlogcast platforms too, to be easy for you. But the episodes are linked in the playlist on YouTube, and you can find them random, when we did them live on social media, on LinkedIn and Twitter, X, whatever that platform is called nowadays. And I will share them on the other platforms too. Yeah, birds and Mastodon, but that later on. It's we didn't figure out how to do a live on Mastodon yet, or to be honest, I didn't figure out because I didn't stay much on the platform. If you have tips how to improve this, do let us know there. Till now, in first season, we cover all the tech projects that we have at Interledger Foundation. And in the second season, we wanted to showcase more of the not non-projects, but projects or tech-related things like events, how it's this hackathon, or our partners. We will probably have a special episode while we are in Mexico with the partners that we have at People's Clearing House, La Cámara de la Gente in Mexico, or if not, later on for sure, they will join our feed. Most of the time it's me, Ioana Chiorian, the engineer manager here, one of the engineer manager here in Interledger Foundation, and my co-host, Ale Lakatos, the CTO of the foundation. Today, I have two lovely ladies with me, Marianne, our DevRel, and Timea, other engineer manager, but I do want them to tell a few words about themselves and their role here that they do at Interledger Foundation. Just
I'm
break the
going
ice,
first.
lady, whatever. Go for it. Go
Yes,
for it.
I jump. So yeah, I'm here to support like the community and to create bridges between like the engineers and communications, marketing, etc., to be in touch with all the stakeholders, all the communities, all the people, that humans that are behind the screens, and really helpful to support like the students right now with the student hackathons and prepare like the whole setup uh, for Spanish speaking language in the hackathon that we are going to run right now in November. So that's my role right now. So if you want to get in touch, if you have feedback, if you want to be part of one of our events, just send a DM and we will be able to join you.
You literally read my mind, because I was about to ask one thing for both of you. What is the thing that you like people to contact you for? So you mentioned the hackathons and they can find you on our Slack and on social media for sure, especially as a DevRel person. Timea, back to you now.
Hi everyone, I'm Timea, engineering manager at ILF regarding the integrations team, the wonderful integrations team. So part of our project is, of course, the test wallet, the test boutique, the Interledger Pay, working with grantees who are integrating open payments and Rafiki, And because a lot of the hackathons are open payments based, I absolutely love and enjoy helping out, mentoring at these hackathons, and when I'm lucky, even judging. Maybe I love to judge people, who knows? So that's why I'm judging as well. But definitely, I love to participate in these events as well, because they are great, and usually the team at Interledger really knows how to organize a hackathon.
Indeed. And I mean, half of the success is this team and the engineers that step in and help at all the hackathons, and half the participants' energy and their success in making something. And by the way, if there are students that did attend the hackathon, share with us your project or the social post that you did. I saw a few of them. Maybe we'll gather them in a post later in that a wrap-up article in that. So yeah, thanks so much for describing a bit your role. Like every time at Interledger, the first official hat is that one that people mention, but after that, we juggle so many other hats and things around it that we always step in to help the community. We always help with the events. So yeah, one more than one hat at a time. And who was to tackle the first and biggest question of this podcast or discussion, let's call it panel? Why Mexico?
Why
I
not?
think they may. Why not?
Exactly, why not? Exactly.
Well, I have a few reasons, then Marianne can continue. Of course, we have our wonderful partners in Mexico, PCH, People's Clearing House, La Cámara de la Gente, with a wonderful tech team as well, who actually helped us out at the hackathons, with mentoring and with translations. And they always told us about Mexico. They always told us that it's a great opportunity with great universities. And because the summit in November is in Mexico City, with a hackathon taking place as well, then it's the perfect opportunity to organize something before, to show the people, the universities, what is a hackathon, what is an Interledger hackathon, so they might be interested in participating in the summit hackathon as well. And spoiler alert, the four winning teams from the four hackathons will actually participate in the summit hackathon, so we are looking forward to seeing them again. So yeah, that's my reasons. I don't know if Marianne has other reasons.
Yes, I think the peoples and the humans behind are the reasons, but also we really enjoy Pulparindo and all the good snacks that Mexico provide, the food, I mean the everything, the
Mm.
music, the the food, the food. I don't know. But I think is the proper environment. Also, really cool stuffs are happening in Latin America, and I know like the environment, the people that are like they have really good ideas to support their communities, and I think that's really cool. Like Interledger is visiting us, put the eyes in Latin America, and being able to collaborate with us. So as a Colombian, because I'm from Colombia, I'm in Colombia, so I'm really excited to be part of this and support like the Latin community, and also supporting all these projects that involve not only Latin America, is something global that connect and bridge the gap between all the communities around the world. So yes, that's why me.
I agree. I mean, both the mentioning of the people and the country itself. And I remember, Marianne, we did spend a few days together last week at the conference, and we were discussing even more about humans around Mexico, like really good tech people, good lots of projects, a very large country, or very large, like large. And especially for us in Europe, sometimes we keep forgetting how big some other countries are, because here are smaller, but we talk so much about the Western world that we forget sometimes that other countries are way larger or bigger than the ones that we most of times mention. So lots of opportunities. I did paste already the links for the summit. If you are around Ciudad de Mexico at the beginning of November, you're officially invited to join our summit. I think there are very few little spots left if it's not already overbooked, but I'll let you there to register. And for the hackathon, which will come 2 days after the summit, I can for sure say that they are still open places, open seats there. The hackathon will be a 24-hour hackathon. We start around morning, noon in the first day. You have a full day of working out and prepare. If you want, you're gonna stay overnight there and enjoy. It's it's called InSpark, the location, and it's a like game place, or how we call it, not arcades,
Arcade,
but it's more
I
like
think it's arcade.
yeah, I mean, they have arcade, they have VR stuff. It's a venue full of games, and we do have access to some of them, just saying. Don't tell anyone, but some of them are really cool. I love going to check the venue, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this and that. They have a lot of simulators too, so it will be fun for sure. I mean, let's not forget we have their work to do, but with a bit, sprinkle some fun on top is never too late. Yeah, so register if you're around Ciudad de Mexico. You can come with a team. And let's now also mention how we prepare for this, because this hackathon being in Ciudad de Mexico created a different problem for us. I mean, not problem per se that it really was a pain or anything like blocking problem, but we wanted a fair participation. And good to know that till now we've been in Costa Rica and in Cape Town, South Africa, in San Jose, Costa Rica, and Cape Town, South Africa. And in both of them, we explored having more people from out of our ecosystem. In Costa Rica, there were a few locals that we engaged and invited to the hackathon, but it was like a smaller hackathon. But in South Africa, because we had there already a partnership with universities, and we had already a boot camp organized at UCT University that is now in our education grant, and we have an innovation hub with them there. Plus, we've been in Cape Town several times for other events because members, their colleagues, and we also had our partners there. We felt that at least they were more used to our technology, especially the students that we organized in June. Most of the years we have a boot camp there with them. A boot camp means that we spend a week teaching them about our technologies, a few hours per day each day, us and our partners, colleagues from the UCT side, the university side. And at the end, we organize the hackathon with them. More there, we are like supporters for the hackathon in the university. And at the summit, we were the organizers. But with this context, we were like, okay, in Cape Town, we had students that could participate because we had this bootcamp going. So how did we thought that it's better to prepare for the November hackathon in Ciudad de Mexico? Well, if we don't have universities that already have these hackathons with you, what you do? You create some, right? And probably Alex would have to share the story here. We were like always not going small, we always go big. Let's do a marathon of hackathons. Like, why not 4 in Ciudad de Mexico? To be fair and square, I think on paper sounded a bit easier or better than in reality, because when we had to face the traveling, the team was like exhausted. But I do appreciate that everyone stepped up for the challenge, and we did have like almost 2 weeks of hackathons in 4 parts. I was about to say Ciudad de Mexico, but no, we were in 4 cities, 4 different universities. And I think it's worth mentioning that each university that hosted us was in a partnership with other universities from the area. It's not only students from that university mentioning there. Yeah, so where we've been first time, Timea? Which is the first location we've been?
Oaxaca. We started that in Oaxaca, which was an amazing city to start out in, with amazing food. So Marianne, yes, the food. Maybe
I was about to add that Marianne was mentioning the snack, but I'm like still, drooling from the tacos back there. And I'm like, Marianne was the last week, let's go for sushi and tacos in New York. No, I'm like not touching any tacos to go back to Mexico. And after I will say,
Yeah.
And go ahead, sorry.
Be also honest and serious. Maybe some mezcal at the end of the day. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe yes, maybe not. We will never know. If you're not there, you never know.
What happens in Oaxaca stays in Oaxaca. Then we started out in Oaxaca. Then we flew to Estado de Mexico. Then we went to Aguascalientes, and then we went back to Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, and we concluded the four hackathons, with one of them being 24 hours, which was the Estado de Mexico. Yes, the Estado de Mexico was 24 hours as well. So the team was working in shifts, the mentors. Every time there was at least three or four, even more mentors around the students to help them out. English and Spanish speaking mentors, because a lot of people had to like bring up the telenovelas studies that they had when they were younger to speak Spanish, but we managed. And of course, we have to also mention that a lot of people traveled from Europe, so it was even also a 9 hour difference. Jet lag was a thing. But
Yeah.
we definitely, everyone stepped up to the occasion, and it was also uplifting to see the students really involved in all of the organization, and they enjoyed, I think, every step of the hackathon, and that also helped us be more energetic and be more present and fall asleep when we got to the hotel and not at the hackathon.
Yes, I think like exactly this. It was everything happening, everything was planned with like we close the hackathon, we go to rest or we go to dinner and go to rest. And we did have, I mean, don't get us wrong, we did have time if you want to explore more, but we were also, most of us focused to get some rest till the next day. We would have started it again, or sometimes we didn't even had a day between the events. So we literally closed one event. We went to there. I mean, I'm saying in your name because I went to Cascadia. You see my jacket. Um, yes, the team was like wonderful. And now that I mentioned Cascadia, the talk we had there, I had there, it's already out. So if you want to see it, more than happy to check it out. Because we tackle, I mean, even this was not planned. Unfortunately, our colleague, which was a speaker at Cascadia, planned, did not get a visa. And I had to move. And I was okay. I mean, Mexico let me fly to US. I had the visa. There are so many things, you see, when we discuss, we figure out administrative stuff of traveling that sometimes we skip. And yeah, we fix that.
We sometimes have
But
two
in
or three
Oaxaca,
events at the same time, and we have to tackle
yes,
them. And it's a logistics nightmare sometimes, but we have people who do this amazingly. And like you had Cascadia, we had the hackathons. After the hackathons, there was Finno Summit, and in the meantime, I flew back one day earlier to go to DevTalk. So
yeah.
crazy.
When we mentioned was a full summer, or not even summer because it's already autumn, but the last months when we didn't do enough, the ledger were full of events. We were not even joking. Yeah. Okay, so Oaxaca, Aguascalientes, Estado de
Estado.
Mexico, or Estado de Mexico, Aguascalientes, and back to Ciudad de Mexico. Okay, Timea, you were a judge in the first one. I know because I was there. Were you judging also on the next ones?
I was judged in the first three ones because the last one I had to fly back one day earlier
Mm-hmm.
do a workshop on open payments at DevTalks. So I was judged at the first three ones, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just judged always with Alex, then
Mm-hmm.
with partners from PCH, Roberto Valdinovas, and usually people from the university, from
Yeah.
the hosting university usually, or sometimes even the other participating universities. It depended how we juggled the judges. And we always decided on um, fif- around 15 teams that had to present. The presentation was like predetermined slides to present their idea,
Mm-hmm.
their solution, their team, of course, starting with their team, to present maybe some conclusion, and of course a demo, which we asked for them to pre-record because it's easier that way and maybe even
Yeah.
faster to not waste time, because it's full day of developing, then full day of preparing for the presentation, and then full day, like full hours, I don't know how many hours, to listening to the presentation, and it takes up a lot of time. And even the
Oh, yes.
students had, maybe some students had buses to get to at 8 o'clock.
Catch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
to catch
we
it.
had, yeah, we had to take care of everything, like logistically. And after we listened to the 15 teams presenting, the judges usually went to discuss for a few minutes. And there wasn't like big discussions, because usually we had the same feeling about the teams.
Mm-hmm.
um each team that presented with they had like a soul in the presentation. They were animated, they were enthusiastic, you could feel it. You could feel their appreciation for open payments, the appreciation for this hackathon. And from those 15 teams, you could usually filter out maybe 5 teams that, like, okay, these 5 teams deserve an award, so let's see how we can give 1, 2, 3, and sometimes even a
Mm-hmm.
special mention of fourth place. Which they had pretty nice gifts, a Lego set, so I enjoyed that one. Sometimes,
Oh,
like,
true.
a good Lego is even better than anything else.
Yes. For
And
sure, like on the you're more happy because yeah. And after you'll see the other prizes.
yes, and after like short deliberation, we had the winning teams, and usually with the help of Marianne here, we presented the winning
Mm-hmm.
team with their diplomas, with their presents for winning the hackathons. And it was just really amazing to see the happiness when they won.
Yeah.
Some teams even cried, some team members, and the joy that they emanated was like, wow, okay, this is worth it.
I truly believe that, I mean, in my name, I speak in my name, but it's one of the greatest feelings when you work in open source and when you have this side of education, when you see the happiness of people that learn something new, they were able to apply it to do a project of them, and even more if they are lucky to really win something, like the joy that they have and the empowerment that they feel like I can do this, like I can program something, I can develop something. It's the greatest feeling that you can see in their eyes. Yeah.
For sure, for
But
sure.
we mentioned at the beginning that we felt that we had a gap versus the Cape Town. And because we have here a Spanish speaker person, Devrel, a course creator, with Spanish, and we moved extremely fast at Interleisure. We were able to build in a few, I would say officially weeks, but to be realistic, officially days was implemented, a new course. How was that,
Ye-
Marianne? How was the preparation and what we covered?
It was crazy, but at least thank you for all the Platzi team because they were really supportive in that crazy project. But it was really good. The feedback is good, and I think the students finalize, they get their certificates. They went with this with the printed certificate, like saying like, please sign and take a picture with me. So I was like, oh my god, this is
So famous.
so
I
cute,
do.
amazing, etc.
I do want to take a minute there. Like Marianne was like signing diplomas, taking picture. Like we should have had, like a stand with a book signing, like diploma signing corner. And it's again one of the pure joys that you see at such events. Oh, so good.
So good. And also, I think one of the things that I really was exciting, as I said, this is October, and we are running like also Oktoberfest, joining like the movement, etc. That is really important for developers. And one of the things is when you saw like the statistics of Oktoberfest, etc. You have the chance to review.
Mm-hmm.
There are few people from Latin America participating in open source, so it was really good. Like they were able to create like the account on GitHub, follow the repo, engage with our technology, open payments, and
Mm-hmm.
be able to support. So some of them even find some ways to be involved with our project. So that was amazing. So they jump from being students to actual support like the technology we are creating. So we were like, yay, we
Mm-hmm.
made it. Definitely we made it.
It is
Oh
an
yes.
amazing
And
course. Really, it was like, if we didn't have that Platzi course, our mission and the Mexico Hackathon Fest would have been honestly a disaster. So without the Platzi course from Marianne, I don't know what we would have done.
No, true. I like Timea, how it ended up being a hackathon festival, or a marathon. And after Seattle, I flew my moment of bragging here. I flew to run that marathon in Berlin. So when we say we were busy, we're not even joking. But I like this festival of hackathons, and because it was like a party starting, like we were joking with Marianne last week at the conference that we should treat conferences like festival of people, like who's on the lineup now, the same here, like what moment of the day. And I remember you and Radu mentioning like, oh, time is past, they need to submit now. And at the beginning of the day, Marianne is like, oh, you need to do the course, please spend some time going to the course. And again, preparing the next event. In the same day that we were running an active hackathon, we were sending information to the future participants about Platzi, and hey, take some time to do this course before the hackathon to help you around. And I did send the link of the hackathon, and you have it now on screen, but it's also in the comments, that if you go and see the reviews are like, I don't think we get so many feedbacks most of the time. So really big congratulations there, Marianne. I do want to give a big shout out to Max and Sarah too. They organized the previous boot camps in Cape Town. And because, recording an official course takes long time, after producing the course, the videos and everything, segmenting them, and, whatever else is needs on platforms like Platzi to have it ready with, chapters and everything, it was literally ahead of a bit of too close to the first event. Max and Sarah did prepare some videos. They are on YouTube too, for you to go and check. We had sessions with the students. I think I really want to emphasize that we created these student hackathons in order to leverage the knowledge that students have about our technologies, about Open Payments API. So next time for the big hackathon, they feel that they have the fair and equal treatment like other developers that already have experience in the field.
And I will say, like, if without Max and Sarah, it was not possible because I follow the whole content they already have, like in YouTube. Actually, they sync with me and put like a demo and all the structure. They were really useful providing feedback. So if you have the chance to consume like the content in English, I would prefer that. And I would suggest that because in English is the international language. Of course, we want to adapt like the content for all the audience, especially if we are visiting Mexico and being like and support like the community. But if you have the chance, please review the content they do because actually they update like the final client setup for Node.js. So it was amazing. And they did it in, in a few hours. So they were really, really helpful. So thank you, Max and Sarah.
And I think I want to add here about, English and Spanish. We try as much as we can to create all documentation in Spanish to be approachable and easy to digest and go through from all speakers. But we had this at the hackathon. I remember also in Oaxaca when I was a judge with Timea, and we asked for the presentations to be in English, but the organizers there from the university said that, oh, maybe it's better in Spanish, because the kids, the students are more comfortable. And I was mentioning them, like, both me and Timea will understand this, mostly. Because like Timea said, and we are not even joking, we learned Spanish because of the telenovelas that our parents listened in the background when we were small. Just the context in our home country, in Romania, they don't dub with voice the movies, they subtitle them all the time. Probably nowadays they do over voice on some of them, but when we were kids, there were only subtitles. So you all the different Spanish dialect from Mexico or Colombia due to the telenovelas around. So we do understand it, or at least we are, can communicate in a basic form. But at no point our level of Spanish is technical. At no point is, in the finance side. So I was telling them, more than happy to accommodate this. But you have to understand that if they speak fast Spanish or they use words that we are not familiar, we will not understand. And as a judge, not to miss something or to not understand perfectly, you will be like, oh, this doesn't make sense for me, you know, and the kids or slash students will lose there. So it was nothing on the you need to speak English because, oh, we came here and we imposed it. No, we're trying to accommodate, but at this point we were not losing maybe some of the explanations if we did not understand our Spanish, because we are not Spanish
And I
speakers.
will say something there. So your Spanish is really good, and you did both a great job. And also because we have like some team members that don't have like that capacity, that they didn't understand Spanish. So at the end, we were really tired, and we were jumping
Yeah.
between English, Spanish, Romanian,
Oh
and
yeah,
all kind of language in between. And we
I
were
have
like, okay, okay, we're done.
yeah,
Our brain
I
is
have a
fried
few
right
of
now.
these. I have a few of this, and I didn't realize in the moment, but sometimes I was speaking Romanian to Mexicans or to my American colleagues, and I didn't realize. I realized it only when in the background I heard someone laughing really hard, and I was like looking, why are we laughing? And people were like, when someone realized that I'm speaking Romanian to a Mexican, they were laughing in right next to me, and oh no, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So I had like 2 or 3 times doing this. It was very funny.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were
I mean,
tired.
especially at the end, exactly, especially at the end of the days, you know, towards the evenings, we were like so tired. We were like just barely understanding what you're doing there. Uh, but not to say that we were not good organized. This is, you know, behind the doors when we were trying to
Behind.
figure out the next things, and something would, you know, pop up, and we were very tired. It's. I think we take sometimes for granted how hard is it to change languages, especially in such a diverse context. We do work remotely and all day in English, but and sometimes you take a break. Also, what for me it's fun in these so long or extended events is that we stay in the same hotel. So we have breakfast together, we have lunch together, and I'm like working from home. I barely see people sometimes. And after that, you're with these people 10 days with 10 people next to you, like in a high school trip, because you're like having dinners together. Of course, again, you can go alone and everything, but you also want to spend time with your colleagues. So it lets a lot of things. Yeah, Spanish, Romanian, English, and we are gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, but I think the Interledger Summit, I don't think all of the judges will know Spanish right now, because this will be a more focused
No,
group of judges. So I think everyone kind of needs to present in English, even if it's the beginning.
100%.
Yeah. The
But again, like you
presentations
said,
usually the
go.
presentations usually take only 5 minutes, so we understand that speaking a different language that's not your native language can be really difficult. We saw that when we tried to enforce the second or third hackathon English, and they took like 1 minute presenting their team members, and we said, no, go back to Spanish. Present in
Yeah.
Spanish. You will not
I
finish
mean,
your presentation. Yeah.
yeah. But this is a good point, and I will mention now, we will have the details announced later. We will gonna be doing, I don't know, my English again, vocabulary. Sorry, I need to refresh my vocabulary and correct my grammar. We will do an MIA, an Ask Me Anything session for the hackathon in, I think, this Thursday, or either way, follow the social media, we will post about it. If you have questions also about the summit and the hackathon, don't wait for the MIA, send them on any post, like here in the chat, or join our Slack, or tag me. I'm Ioana_CIS. You find me easy, or Marianne and Timea. But one of the big tip is that don't waste time presenting the team, because I don't want to be mean when I say, but I'm not interested which role is those three people. Like, they can be royals, or they can be, everyone could be like coders, everyone can be a designer. I don't mind. The structure of the team is not that important for you to waste 30 seconds, which you have 5. Go first, I think and we saw it at the first hackathon, because we didn't mention it specific, but demo the open payments. That was, I think, the must thing. And after that, demo your idea, even if it's not ready, have a mock-up, have an MVP, but don't spend time on anything that is not related to the product per se, because that doesn't gain you not points, sounds so high level, but yeah, you're just losing time that you could be used otherwise. Yeah. But now that we are mentioning these kind of tips and tricks, what would be your top 3 advices that you'll give to the future hackathon participants?
Well, for me, for certain, I see a lot of improvement probabilities at the presentation, as you mentioned, presenting the team, presenting a lot of time the technology is used. Usually, there's a team behind mentors who take a look at the code, and they filter out also the code by code the people who go through the second phase or the third phase.
Mm-hmm.
So we already kind of know the technologies that were used, so we don't have to present like 1 minute. Okay, I use PHP. Okay, I use this. I use that.
No jazz. Yeah.
It's not that important. And for sure, we had like less here and in Mexico, more in Cape Town. But sometimes this will not be a student hackathon at the Interledger Summit, but the students
Yes.
are more nervous maybe. And they start out the presentation like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I don't know what I'm going to say. And the time is ticking, and they are saying, I'm so
Mm-hmm.
nervous. Oh, I'm so sorry. Da, da, da. It's like, no, please go on,
Yes.
go on. Don't be nervous. Just say something that's relevant to your project. Yeah, just be in the moment. And I know it's difficult. I'm always nervous when presenting, so I can relate to that. But definitely just be present and enjoy the moment because it comes maybe once or twice in a lifetime.
I
Yes,
think
true.
right.
Well, I like this one with be in the moment because it's only once. Go ahead, Marianne. Let's hear yours.
Yes. No, I think the thing is right now the level is going up because it's a professional hackathon
Mm-hmm.
in the in the frame of the summit. So the idea is to implement and to create, like as you said, like an MVP. So the function, like the something that really solve a problem, and you can connect with our technology and create something unique and adding value to the ecosystem. So that would be like the first thing. The second thing is you need to choose like the best, I don't know, a speaker or the best people to tell the story as a really storyteller, and practice because
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have like two language bilingual, or for example, Timea that speak five, I don't know how she managed that. Your brain, sometimes we don't get the proper grammar, we don't get the proper words, we mix some words, and even if you are with the international team, you have that, you have you interchange like words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's really difficult. So practice makes the full presentation close to perfect. It does not need to be perfect. It needs to be done, not perfect. But the thing is, when you practice, you will be able to be able to answer questions if they are, be able to be clear in the goal you want to show, or the problem you want to solve. So practice, be present. I think that's really important to enjoy the moment, to have fun, to enjoy like the connections and the networking you are going to be able to run in this space. So I think the team is important, as you say, is not to be mean, but
Mm-hmm.
probably that connections reminds the event, and you will be able to continue this amazing solution, or even try a next iteration or a next pivot of that solution, implementing this technology. And with knowledge and with more time, you will have like the right person to continue, or even start a startup or a spin-off, or I don't know, a product that
Mm-hmm.
can shine out there. So yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Yeah. I'll put it here, like Alex to tell me that I propose things and after that I give myself work. If you're not familiar, check the other of the Ledger episodes where it's always like, oh, how about this? But I did propose last week to have a page where we gather the ideas from hackathons, exactly that, to post a library of projects. For sure, the hackathon projects are not even close to being a solution either, but some may continue. I think some of them did apply to other hackathons or contests, or even discussing with our board of people to get a new grant. The foundation team, for the programs teams from the Interledger Foundation, has grants for different objectives. You can go interledger.org and you get grants. You will see the 3 types of them. So there are a lot of opportunities. But this is my task to make that gallery of projects and, share case. Because we also mentioned we have so many hackathons now attended and created that we probably have more than 100 projects created overall. So yeah, some will be duplicates because a lot of teams approach the same problem, but some are a bit more different. But let me add my tips and tricks or advices for the hackathon. First of all, I think what surprises me in Oaxaca was that we had some, not invented, but other types of APIs that we didn't like, open payments, that something else, not our IO and MX. And I was even looking, they don't exist. So I think that the cause of using such API was that the AI hallucinated. So I am not blaming API. AI. I'm blaming AI, but I'm blaming the humans that trust fully the AI without checking, And this is what I am not that blinded by AI, because you should just get inspiration from the, not copy paste. No blaming for the kids. It's good that they use it, but unfortunately, we had to disqualify 2 teams because they used the wrong open payments. It's an open. Yes, at the first, yes, even more afterwards. So if you're using AI, get the inspiration from there, but double check it. Or worst case scenario, if you're really so confused or you don't know what it, ask a mentor. Is this the correct usage of open payment? Because the usage of open payments from our side, from Interledger, it is a disqualifying criteria. Also, again, mentioning, if you're not presenting the payments in the end and you just present a nice UI of a app, this is not our purpose of the hackathon. The purpose is to use the open payments, see us and show us how you use the payments. Could be sometimes what we saw, from extensions to mail sent with payments, the regular payments with testnet. I think Timea each time she's there, the testnet going, the payments is like, project. Yeah. But be sure again to showcase the hackathon, because it's by us. So even if you use open payments that would exist or would work from other places, is like, not ours. The second thing, I'm going back to being present, as I am one of those speakers that unfortunately had issues with presentation. Not my fault. I truly was not my fault, but the karma of speaking, presentation doesn't load, or the laptop crashed, not mine, the conference crashed, or now in New York, the slides just didn't go up in a Zoom call. Like it, you work with this every day, it just didn't work up, or after the name appears. So things will happen. Unpredicted things will always happen. Don't block yourself. Like, we understand, we are all tech. We know that karma has its own, souls and everything. That's why we're not going to Mars. Still, we're fixing the internet and the web and everything. But just go ahead and present. If the slides don't work, share because you're knowledgeable of what you prepare, knowledgeable of what the project is. If something, just continue to explain the idea, the problem, how you implement it in terms, like, again, steps, not I use Node.js, because we do need to use technologies, but how you envision the solution and why open payment is the best solution for that is definitely winning you points. And for the same thing, on the presence, is I see a lot of people blocking or saying like, oh, I forgot what we had to say here. We don't know what you prepare. So even if you forgot, we will not know that you forgot. So only yourself, the speaker, and maybe your team that they saw the slides, just continue with what you remember, because as Timea said, time is ticking. And I think at this one, especially when we have so many presentations, we had to stop at 5 minutes, because otherwise we'll stay till midnight to review presentation, to listen. We can chat afterward more. We do see the uploaded slides and everything, but you have 5 minutes there, make the most of it. Spending 1 minute to, be, oh, I forgot what was here. Just continue saying, I would say whatever, but not related to the project, because again, us, we will not know that you missed anything. We will think that that's how you, have in there. If you remember, you can always say, one more thing here, the famous one more thing, or maybe I could add also this. And it's easy every moment to come back to an idea once you remember. But if you stay trying to remember, you just let time pass away. I think we're gonna make a collection of this, especially for the next maybe for the hackathon. But as we mentioned now about tips and tricks that came from different situations, what was the most challenging part for both of you from these hackathons?
Mm, I think in the first one, because as you said, like it was not only for dates, for venues. We have like a extended university, so we have like 40 universities connected. So that was huge
Mhm.
amount. So we cover all a huge part of Mexico. Mexico is really big, but I think the most challenging thing it was like the first one. I'm searching. I am between Spanish and English, because in the first one in Oaxaca we need to like tune up everything. We have a plan, and then when you get to run that plan in place in the venue, we were facing like some challenge. But even that, I think it was one of the best ones, because people were really the engagement, the participation, the feedback, the level of English, because I think it's a plus when we are talking about the students as a university level in Latin America. So yeah, I think the coordination and to implement the plan we already have, and we already plan so many months before, and then in place trying to be really specific with all the details in Oaxaca, and then figure out like the reality is different, and sometimes, as you said, you need to adjust and you need to improvise and you need to make things work for everyone, and try to push forward and next continue, and just learn from your mistakes, learn from the things you need to improve, and keep going. And that was like trying to find the pace. And I think you know more because you're a runner that runs 42K. But I think it's just that, just continue and pushing forward and continue training and just enjoy like the road, or yeah, the
Mhm.
process.
Very, very wonderfully said. And I have to agree, the first one was the toughest one. Also because of maybe the jet lag, and we had to have some days getting used to like Mexico. But the first one has had its ups and downs, and we definitely learned from our mistakes. So going to the second, third, and fourth one, our organization and our methods to filter out teams, to help teams, improved so much. And you can see that from the feedback from the students actually. So the first Oaxaca feedback was so good ones and bad ones, and from the second one, third one, and fourth one was like, yeah, this is very well organized, everything like going smoothly. Some I watched some TikTok of a student, I think in Aguascalientes, and he was like, oh, this is the best hackathon, they never took care of me this well in other hackathons. And I laughed at that because I do have to put a parenthesis here. The swag team again was on point. The swag team, which Joanna is part of, or even a main organizer, or sometimes, but like the stickers, everyone loves stickers. Students love T-shirts. Some of us was like, oh yeah, another T-shirt. No, the students like, yes, T-shirts, yes, clean socks. So they
Yes.
were so, like
I
very
mean,
happy
two
with small things. Yeah.
yeah, two things here. Like the TikToks that you shared with me from that student. Again, if you're a student there, if you saw, share them with us. We love them, and we are gonna try to gather them or share them at least in Slack. One guy was like, I was so busy coding that I didn't realize time flew, and they're giving again food, and I'm like still okay from the morning. Like, oh my God, they're treating that at home, and I was like, oh God,
Yeah,
he
we
was
had
so happy
snacks,
about it.
we had
Yeah.
fruits, we had a breakfast. lunch and dinner as well. I think
Yeah.
so.
Sometimes because
And
the schedule
The schedule, yeah,
change.
depended on the schedule. As I
but also
mentioned,
this was something to adapt, right? Because
Yep.
the food delivery was local, and we always had to be in contact with them to be on time. Things would change, or students had to go home. So yeah, it was little things. And related to the swag, I always have to imagine, like you said, maybe us, we are already tired of being so much in tech and having t-shirts. But by the way, the t-shirt Marianne wears is the hackathon t-shirt. I don't have it because, again, in Oaxaca, we had more attendees. And one of the solution on the spot was not to get myself a t-shirt. Marianne got from the other ones and give it to the students because they were so happy about it. Timea has the UCT one from
anyone, yeah,
that's even a jacket, a cold one. So we know
it's
that students
cold
love this
here,
or
so every
others.
time you get a t-shirt.
So they're good. But again, our buys might be like, oh, we have so many t-shirts. No, people love them, especially when it's their first event with us. And now we created a series of socks, and it's so
Yeah.
good. Like for events, so good.
And they were wearing
If you
them, so
have,
not just receiving them. You could actually
yes,
see students wear them and making selfies, pictures. We had a huge robotization poster on at
banner,
every
yes,
Hackathon banner, and they took some amazing pictures. So yeah, they had fun
yeah,
and we had fun. Marianne helped organize the control chaos with the students. As you can imagine,
yes.
we cannot let 130 students at a run wild at a table. We had to organize them like everyone. So
And and
everyone,
sometimes, like mentioned at first, Maka, we had a bit limited because we were planning for a few less, and we didn't want to reject people, so we couldn't get people 2, 3 t-shirts sometimes, and we were had to be paying attention, like, hey, we need for more. Yeah. But with the socks, even at the conference last week, as Machine Conf in New York, they were coming and showing us their socks. Oh, I'm wearing the socks I got from you yesterday. Oh, by the way, I think it's mentioned, people, if you have cool swag that you want to get from us, do tell us. I think one of the most appreciated is still the clickers that we run out of. Oh my God. Spoiler alert. Me and Tiffany are working to get a new series. But for these ones, these were given to at the beginning when we saw students with mechanical keyboards, we were getting this to them because they appreciate, the clickering. And the same happened at the conference when people were like, we heard that you have these clickers. I need a click. So yeah, stay tuned for more cool swag. But
oh
if
yeah,
you
and
think we should do any
I
tag,
have another story regarding clickers. Um, so the noise.
oh
We
yeah,
had
I'm
again
sorry.
the first hackathon in Oaxaca. We had the most like logistics issues that we improved really well on the second, third, and fourth. And one of those was that we got everyone into the room to announce the winners, and we still didn't have the diplomas to give them. So we had to wait for like 20 minutes, and while we waited those 20 minutes, Marianne also told some jokes. She did like a stand up comedy of sorts. But you could hear some people doing this in the audience. And it was so funny. Like they, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, the click,
Yes,
they're just
that
amazing.
that was my experience too. Oh, and the pens, Marianne showcasing the pens, and we had some notebooks where we're coloring and some inspiration stuff there. And we're creating, we will create sneak peek for those who listen here. We will create a notepad with information too about all the projects. But with the clickers, Timea was literally at Cascade at the same. I was on stage and I was hearing in the audience the clickers. There's the word puzzle. And I was like, oh my God, I did this to myself. I have to concentrate now to deliver the talk while listening to the clickers in the audience. Like I did it myself. Yeah. But that I love the cloud words that Marianne showcased in the notebook because the entire tech team contributed with words for that. And it's something that I, even as a A4 separately paper, I would do it at the summit or hackathon to try to find out words. Or at least I like these kind of activities. Who knows? Maybe nobody else likes them. Do the swag that you would like to receive. That's my mantra, like I wanted to have this, I made it. So ladies, let me know what you want in your requisite and I'll deliver together with Tiffany. I'm not alone here. Yes. Um, I did want to mention that in last week we had a community call, and I'm gonna paste now the link for it, in which the student, some of the students joined and shared their story. We couldn't invite them now in the podcast. It's like we're asking a bit too much for them, to keep joining or writing and everything. I pasted it in the comments too. But I love the enthusiasm, like Timea said, about them building up stuff, and cannot wait for them to see them in 2 3 weeks. 3 weeks we have till the hackathon. And time flies. And yeah, I think mostly wrapping up. Any last moment, any last things that you would like to share from the marathon festival of hackathons?
It
I
was
think it
worth.
was funny because no, I will say it was funny. It was worth it, but it was funny that in the last like community call, we were attending a smashing call. We were in the booth, and I was trying to help translation, and people came, and we were in the middle of a lot of noise. At least I have like a useful AI tool that erased the back noise, and I was like, okay, I can do this. So I was paying attention to the English, the Spanish, trying to translate between Spanish and English, and also help. Joanna was jumping up to help me with the booth, and she was really into it, like engaging with people in real time because it was in the during the break, and it was crazy. I was like, okay, we can do this. You can sell like the recording of the community call, and probably you will be right there. I was struggling to don't getting lost
Yeah.
into translation. So yeah.
Yes, and the student hackathons, it was 2 weeks of intense work, a little bit of fun involved as well. Of course, we don't do anything without fun because that's
Hmm.
how we are. And it was worth it because of the students, because of the professors that came with the students, and you could see also their happiness. Because of we could see some parents coming with the students and waiting for them 24 hours in the car or something like that, until the child finishes. Um, it was worth it because of the team and everyone who put the big effort in doing this. Also, our local partners, everyone locally, not just PCH, but all of the local teams helping us with logistics. And it was worth it, of course, for the food and for the amazing people in Mexico, that I'm honestly looking forward to going back, because I know we will have a great time in Mexico City again. And for sure, the Summit Hackathon will be different because it will be maybe even bigger. Not just students are invited, anyone who wants to join. And if I know correctly, not just open payments will be on the table right now. As Maria mentioned, all you can interact with all the Intel Ledger technologies. So you can go crazy, and I'm looking forward to that chaos and craziness again. It was just really intense and really worth it.
I think it's like you said, it's very intense, but also on our side to discover a country, how those people react, and in the best way. I'm saying in the best shape, because I know we were at the Oaxaca, we were surprised about their designs, and we were like, oh my god, they are creating really nice presentation. And of course some will say like, yeah, but it was AI. It doesn't matter for us. We didn't stop the usage of AI, the creativeness. Even if you're doing it with AI, was really, presentation were flawless, connected, identity wise. They were having, each project had identity, some had logos, and I was like, whoa. I mean, we are debating sometimes for name of the projects more than they debated in 24 hours. So it's like, for sure, we saw that too. So I'm more than happy to go back to see how the big hackathon will be. I put the link on the web. Do register for it if you're around Ciudad de Mexico. If you have questions, don't hesitate to write to us. We are on mostly all social media trying to reply, or we have our Slack, which is the place where you get in touch with everyone from Interledger, from engineers to program teams and community from the world. And probably, as I mentioned, we're going to do a session of Ask Me Anything this week with more people around. It was great to have you ladies on the new episode of The Ledger. We are going to try to make it monthly, hopefully, but as you can see, we're juggling a lot of things, and sometimes some of them fall on the floor, and it takes us a bit to pick them up anymore. But we are more than happy of doing this, and we are looking forward for your feedback. Let us know what we can improve. If you're on YouTube, register, subscribe to see the rest of them and be notified for the rest, or in social media, follow our accounts there for the news. As you can see, we're busy. We share a lot of things. So for sure, you're going to get something really, really informative from there. Thanks so much, ladies. See you on Slack.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.